Hello everyone, this tutorial will cover the various code flow related statements. We'll start with if. Okay, so the single line if looks like this. If condition, then, and optionally an else clause, let's try it, and it logs no because a doesn't equal to 500. We can change the comparison operator, not equals. Now it will print yes. The other operators are greater or equals, less than, and less than or equals. No, no, yes, yes, okay. The condition can be made of multiple expressions. For example, if a less than 200 and b is less than 100, only if both conditions are met, then the complete condition will be evaluated to true and it will print no. We can change it to or. If a single condition is met, then it will stop evaluating the other conditions and will return true. We have created a sub. It returns a Boolean value. A Boolean value can be either true or false. It will return true if x is greater than 0 and false otherwise. We will also add if the sub returns true, then it will log yes. This statement is identical to this one. Now let's see something a bit interesting. Now the question is whether it will print is positive or not. And the answer is it will not print because b doesn't equal to 100 and therefore didn't try to evaluate the second condition. It's called short circuit. Let's see the multi-line if statement. If else if. Now we can add 0 or more else if branches. And we can also add an else branch that will be executed if all other conditions weren't met. Now it will print 1. Let's add nat is positive returns a Boolean value. Nat is positive will evaluate to false, and we expect it to print this one. Let's change it to see that the else is working. If we have a variable and we want to compare it to multiple other values, we can write it like this. Or better, we can write it with the select statement. Select the value that we will test with all other values. We write it like this: case 10, case 20. You can write here any number of statements. You can also create a case with several values. It will be true if one of the values matches A. And we can optionally add case else in case no other condition has met. Other and yes. Note that you can optionally add case here. It doesn't change anything. So this is the select statement, and it is useful when you want to compare a single value with multiple other values. Let's see some loops. Do while I is less than 10, increase I by 1, and log it. This is the do while block. It will continue to run this block until the condition evaluates to false. In this case, it will happen when I is 10. Let's see. Do until is very similar. It continues to execute the block until the condition is true. Let's say that we want to skip over number 5. We're using continue here. Continue means that it will not execute the following statements and continue with the next iteration. Let's skip over all the odd numbers. If I mod 2 equals 1, exit is similar to continue, but instead of continuing with the next iteration, it exits the loop. The for loop the iterator variable starting from 1 to 10. We can optionally change the step. Note that we haven't declared I anywhere. Its type is implicitly set to an int if we haven't declared it before. We can also go backwards, but we must set the step in this case. And as we previously seen, we can use continue and exit inside the loop. What will be printed? All numbers between 1 to 20. Unlike do while or do until, the limits are evaluated before the first loop and you cannot change them afterwards. We can change I, though it is not so common to do it. You can see it skipped all the values between. The for each loop is useful when we want to iterate over a collection elements. For example, for each iterator variable and its type in the collection, this is equivalent to for each is simpler and safer. Note that we can write it like this. We don't really need the list variable. You can also use continue and exit inside the for each block. The try catch block, which looks like this, is used to catch exceptions. It also affects the code flow. Let's run this program. It printed 1. Then there was an exception on this line because the string is not a number. And it jumped to the catch block and printed the last exception. That's it. Thank you.